Baddies, babes, and gents, welcome to Bad Girls Talk. Real people, real conversations. This is for the grown and sexy. Shout out to all of the new subscribers. If you're new here, welcome. And if you've been here before, welcome back. And so we have got a lot to get into. But first, let me see who was first in the building. Y'all, Jan has been here since 5 a.m. Okay. She was here since 5 a.m. I was going to go live last night, but there were so many people live last night. And honestly, I was tired. And if I can't bring it to you like I need to bring it to you, then, if you ain't going to go hard, then go home. So I didn't go home, but I went to bed. Listen to me, 301 is in the building. Spicy Delight say, yay, we are back. Us seniors need love too, so she is here for it. I got Galatians 6-7 in the building. Kiki Sassy Cutie said, hello, WD, and hello, everyone in the chat. New subscribers, I'll be back. I set my and the queen is back. Okay, she's the woman of her word. Juju D's in the building. Harper Blue say, hey, hey. I got Sweetheart and God Did It 68 in the building. All right, y'all. So, we're going to be talking about a couple of things, actually. So there are some disturbing rumors about Rihanna and Jay-Z that I wanted to share. I stumbled upon a video by, I think her name is Miss T. Some of you may be familiar with her. And there were some really interesting things that came out about Rihanna and Jay-Z. Now, what I did is I don't know what made me do it, but I started looking at her albums and going through from her first album that she dropped in 2005 to now and kind of looking at her progression, looking at the names of her album, the names of her songs. Then I started looking at the lyrics, and y'all, I'm wondering if Rihanna was trying to tell us some things back then, because there are some lyrics that may not have made sense back then, but with all this Diddy, Jay-Z, all kind of stuff going on, it makes a whole lot of sense. So we're going to get into that, and then we're going to be talking about some drama in the White House, because this is not necessarily a news story. I just have never had a chance to talk about it, because I'm like this. I don't understand how a man who is totally straight is 100% okay with their male child transitioning to female, 100% supportive, don't feel any type of way about it. Let's go, let's do it. It just seems a little odd to me. And what also seems odd is why Gabrielle Union would agree to a 50-50 relationship. Okay, so we're going to get into all of that on this evening. So thank you guys for being on Bad Girls Talk. Make sure that you hit the like button. Like I said, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Turn on your notifications, set them to all, so this way you can be notified when I do go live and when I drop new videos. So we're going to get in straight into this. I don't know if you guys have seen this interview that we're going to look at, but Jaguar Wright has been very verbal and outspoken about the situation with Rihanna, and what the question that I'm asking, because it's looking real sus, and I'm wondering if Rihanna was actually trafficked. And you'll understand in just a minute why I asked that. Did you guys know that her father received a check for $500,000 when she was signed to Jay-Z? June's Poetry's in the building. What's up, June's Poetry? How are you? Yeah. So she's with Jay-Z. Jay-Z has her in a hotel room until 3 a.m. Like, look, you're not leaving here until you sign this contract. And there's only two ways out this room. You either sign this contract and you could leave through the door, or you could go through the window, and we on the 29th floor. Oh, yes. Yes, indeed. Because she tells that story to Tyra Banks. And, the audience is like, woo, and clapping and laughing and carrying on. I don't think they understood the significance of what this man said. You're telling a 16-year-old that the only way that they can leave safely is if they sign a contract. No lawyers are around. Her parents are not around. She's not legally able to sign any document, but she did. And 24 hours later, her father received a check for $500,000. So there are those out here on these YouTube streets who, are saying that her father sold him, right? That's what it sounds like to them. And again, all this is alleged. All this is based on rumor. None of this has not necessarily been validated unless you actually hear it from the horse's mouth, which we're going to hear some of that this evening. And some of this is based on conspiracy theories. So I just want to make sure that I make that clear. So we're going to talk about that. Also, The whole big thing with Chris Brown years ago was the whole Chris Brown beat up Rihanna situation. Well, I've heard another side of that story. And the side of that story is that um, Chris Brown caught Hercules from Rihanna, who likely got it either from Jay-Z or Diddy. Okay. And he rolls up in the exec meeting calling her out and finds her in the closet doing a doo-wop pop pop on Jay-Z's cucumber. Okay, just going to town, slobbing the knob. And he calls her all type of hoes and whatnot. He storms out, jumps in his car. She chases after him, gets in his vehicle, and that's when the argument escalates and they're fighting back and forth. Now, this is the interesting thing, because if this rumor is true that she's got Hercules and then she gave it to Chris Brown, well, who else do we know that has Hercules that was associated with Diddy? Because the streets are saying that Rihanna was definitely assaulted and forced to engage in some activity with Diddy, like they were passing her around. And so, who else do we know who also has Hercules, who was associated with Diddy? That would be USHERAYMOD, okay? Usher Raymond. Usher, right? We know that he called Hercules because the girl he gave it to sued him. And now it's coming out from Diddy's ex-security, Gene Deal, that when Diddy assaulted Usher Raymond, it was so bad that he had to be hospitalized. So it's a lot, all right? But let's get into this video because some very interesting things. You have to make your own decision. But there are things that I had never heard before. And then we're going to go look at some of her lyrics. And you tell me what y'all see. Because I know what I'm reading. And based upon what I'm hearing, I'm starting to think that Jaguar Wright, who has never been sued, Jaguar Wright, who, no one has ever come out and sued her for defamation of character or called her a liar, and she has not been wrong thus far. So let's get into this very interesting video by Miss T. Hang on a second. Y'all gonna tell me in the chat what you guys think about what you're hearing.
Y'all, some crazy documents just leaked from the ongoing federal case against Diddy, and it looks like we finally have confirmation that not only was Rihanna allegedly Jay-Z's victim, but he also sold her to his BFF Diddy, as well as other people in the industry. The streets have been saying this for a hot minute now, that Jay-Z is not exactly innocent, because he and Diddy were up to some real crazy stuff on the down low, and it looks like those shenanigans are finally coming to light.
Okay, but wait a second. Before we go any further, Jaguar Wright was just on Piers Morgan's Uncensored, and she said a lot, and it got to a point where you could hear the production crew making comments, and he was like, all right, well, that's all we have time for today. He was not ready for what came out of her mouth, but she implicated Beyonce, and basically is saying that Beyonce also did stuff to some people, that it's not hundreds of victims, it's thousands. And that Jay-Z and Beyonce are a nasty little couple and did things including like locking people in their room. Basically that sounds like slavery to me. I'm just saying, I don't know what it sounds like to you, but when you keep somebody against their will, or you lock them in the room with you. So I've heard all types of things about the Queen Bee. I'm not sure what to believe, but it is all very interesting.
Y'all, looks like we finally know why Rihanna never wants to get in the studio again. According to these documents, she was allegedly turned every way but loose. Y'all need to get on this because this tea is absolutely crazy. The streets have been buzzing about Rihanna and Jay-Z's real relationship for ages, and those rumors just don't seem to fade. Rihanna entered the industry as a teenager, and Jay-Z was her mentor, basically running every part of her life. The gossip about their dynamic has always stayed strong, even though they have both denied being involved with each other. Rihanna didn't take his mentorship for granted because she was super grateful for every opportunity that she had been given.
Okay, so remember, keyword mentorship. She was grateful. Okay. Mentorship, in her lyrics sound like a relationship, because as soon as we're done with this, we're going to go to a couple of her songs. I want to show you the playlist, and then we're going to look at specific songs and look at the lyrics, because I want to know what you guys see. And what is it that Rihanna was trying to tell us back then? Because she tells a very specific story. And this was before she got involved with Chris Brown. Her first album came out when she was 17 years old, mind you. All right. Now, Name Change and others in the chat have said a minor cannot enter into a legally binding contract. So then you explain to me how she was able to sign this contract with Jay-Z and nobody questioned it. Okay.
With Jay and having a collaboration with him is just one of those things that everyone dreams to do in their musical career. And here I am at 19 years old with the #1 single and featuring Jay-Z. It's just, I can't fathom it sometimes. It's just too much for me. It's overwhelming sometimes.
Y'all see her face? Does she look excited, happy, or does she look like she knows that she sold her soul to the devil for a record deal? She doesn't sound happy. It's an opportunity of a lifetime to, be around these people and to have this opportunity, but that opportunity should not have included her having to do the things that allegedly she had to do.
Then the tea started spilling that Jay-Z and Rihanna might have secretly had something going on, even though he was married to Beyonce. At first, people weren't really tripping because, fake rumors are flying around the industry all the time. But instead of fading away, these whispers just got louder. Next thing we know, her publicist Jonathan Hayes stepped up and took the blame, saying he started the whole thing just to chase some clout and get publicity for Rihanna. He said, "The PR stunt that I did was out of desperation to help break Ponder Replay." He wrote, "It was so reckless and I didn't think it was going to work. I was just throwing spaghetti at the wall to see what would stick. I didn't think it would be this big story. But now knowing that people are profiting from speculations and opinions about her really turns my stomach. I'm ashamed that I'm even talking about this. I just want to put this rumor to rest once and for all." But honestly, this story didn't even make sense because Rihanna was already a force in the industry and had already made a name for herself. So there was nothing for her to gain from some so-called publicity stunt. But that was the story that they went with for years. And it didn't take long for some shady business to pop up. And this time, it was when Rihanna shared the real story about how she got signed to Jay-Z. Now, we all think we know the story, or at least the glossy version we were fed. But turns out the truth may be way darker than we ever imagined. So y'all do know that Rihanna is a Barbados baddie, right? Well, by chance, she caught the eye of a music exec while he was on vacation, and boom, she got flued out to the U.S. to perform for L.A. Reid and Jay.
Y'all see how young she looks? Wait a minute. Look at, come on now. And the crazy thing is, this is giving Aaliyah when Aaliyah first started.
Oh, that Rihanna is a Barbados baddie, right? Well, by chance, she caught the eye of a music exec while he was on vacation, and
look at how young. Now, I don't know when these photos were taken, so I don't know if she was working with Jay-Z by the time these pictures were taken, but it just puts a lot into perspective.
Boom, she got flued out to the U.S. to perform for L.A. Reid and Jay-Z alone as a teenager. This should have been a major red flag, but nobody really questioned it. She was only 16, so legally, a parent or guardian should have been with her, but no, she was on her own, and it got weirder. Sis kept waiting in the office until 3 a.m. because Jay-Z was apparently under strict orders to sign her no matter what. Now, I don't know about y'all, but keeping a 16-year-old in the office until 3 a.m. beyond red flag and sketchy. To make it even more wild, in an interview, Rihanna said that Jay-Z joked about throwing her out the window of his 27th floor office if she didn't sign.
So nervous. I was shaking literally. But the moment I walked into the office, the atmosphere was so warm and welcoming.
You had to sing a cappella for him?
Yes, I had to sing. I sang Fun to Replay. I sang another ballad from the album last time.
Yeah. So then what did he say to you? He said something to you.
Oh, yes. He said, "We don't sign songs here. We sign artists." And there was this little pause. And I was nervous. But then he said, "And we're interested." And there was this sudden feel of relief.
So then he said something about a window and a door or something.
Oh, then he said, he did it one more.
I did a lot of homework on you, Miss Lady.
He said, there are two ways to leave here, either through the door with the deal sign or through this window, and we're on the 29th floor.
So you was like, where's the pen?
Now, y'all hear the audience laughing? Now, you explain to me in what world is that funny? Because it ain't funny to me at all. This man is telling this 16-year-old that either she signed this contract and she can leave through the door, or if not, she's going out the window. That's serious. And I mean, she's a child. She's 16 years old. She probably thought they were joking. I don't think he was, but some of y'all might think different. Okay. Who says that to a 16-year-old? This is a child. Okay. She would have been a junior in high school. She's in high school, and you telling someone in high school, either you sign or go out the window, and the audience is clapping? Baby, what is wrong with this world today? I want to get back to us seniors need love too. I'm going to get back to your comment in just a minute. She says, I heard something from Sloan Brilla that there were some dark things concerning Blue Ivy too. Very sad. Now, I want to get to that, not necessarily about Blue Ivy, but about Will Smith. And so many of you have probably seen the videos of his son, crying in tears. I have never seen any other child star cry like that unless they were acting in a movie, rehearsing a scene, or filming. And so I want to get back to that because something came up on my feed earlier today. I'm going to show you guys where Will Smith was at an event that was honoring, his song, Just the Two of Us, which is the song he made when he had his first son. And he's basically saying that, when he had his first son, he was terrified, he cried, yada, yada, yada. Well, there's a photo of Will Smith. Jada's not there. Will Smith, his eldest son, Trey, his daughter, Willow, and his second born, the one who was trauma bonding with Justin Bieber, hugging and kissing on each other, and not in that manner, but they were trauma bonding. You have to see the look on this young man's face. It is so, so telling. But what makes it worse is what Will said about and to his firstborn. He made his firstborn a promise. And although he may not have made that promise to his secondborn, it's like he went the complete opposite route. And I'll get back to that later. Let's finish with Rihanna.
Paper, I'm signing.
Yeah,
And I'm sure working with Jay-Z, you've met Beyonce.
that's right.
Intimidating a 16-year-old at 3 a.m, yeah, it's definitely a bad look, no matter how you try to spin it. And pressuring her into signing a contract with these threats, that's even worse. And on top of that, there's still some confusion about whether Jay-Z even had the legal right to make her sign. Remember, Rihanna was 16 at the time. And at that age, you typically can't sign legal contracts without a parent, at least present. Plus, she didn't even have a lawyer to look out for her, so she might have been unknowingly giving up everything. And if these new reports are true, she pretty much did. Jaguar Wright was one of the first to blow the whistle, claiming Jay-Z allegedly Rihanna.
So this is why they're saying that, she was traffic stopped. Okay. I have to be careful which words I use on here. So when I say traffic stopped, y'all know what I'm saying. All right. So this is why they're saying that, because she was flown to New York. Her parents were not with her. They flew her from Barbados to New York by herself. Okay. Locked her in a hotel room, had her singing and doing God knows what else. Okay. Because we know how Diddy does. And who knows what Jay-Z decided to do to, for, and with her. But it made her stay there until she actually signed the contract. Now, the thing is, she's 16 years old. This is Jay-Z. Why would he have to keep her there till 3 a.m. and coerce her to sign a contract? Is there a reason why she didn't want to sign? Was she telling them, well, my parents not here, I don't understand what all this means. I need a lawyer. I'm just wondering what she was saying when she was in that room along with Jay-Z being pressured to sign. But the fact that they brought her not just over state lines, but they flew her, all the way to New York, that could potentially seen as a traffic stop. I'm just saying. Okay, let's keep going.
From Barbados, using his label as a cover. She also claimed Jay-Z allegedly handed Rihanna's father $500,000 when she arrived in the U.S.
Who discovered Rihanna at 3 a.m. in the morning in a hotel room on the island where she comes from with no parental supervision. And then she was put on a private plane, a minor, from one country to another without parental supervision. And she ended up in a boardroom with Mr. Carter without parental supervision. Y'all got young children. Would you just let your daughter leave and go to a whole other country with some motherfucking you don't know?
No. I want to know right now, how many of y'all in the chat that have children, okay, even if they're not a teenager now, they would have been once, right? Would you allow your teenage daughter or son to fly to another country to meet with execs, even if it was somebody like a Jay-Z, okay? It could have been, I'm trying to think of some other big, heavy producers. I can't think of anybody right now. But just think of some of the really big producers, for those of you who are old school, it could have been, Motown. Okay, you flying them across the country by themselves to meet with the execs at Motown. But be honest, would you, and maybe in the 70s they meant something different, but what Jaguar Wright is trying to say is this has been going on well before Diddy. Okay, Diddy learned this behavior, and she's saying from Clive Davis. But how many of you would allow your teenager to travel by themselves to meet with some executives to audition or sing for them or do whatever they're supposed to do? That's what I want to know. I'm just curious to know how many of you would, and I may poll it. I may put up a poll because I'm just curious. The other thing that I'm curious about is if you guys think Diddy is gonna talk. So that's another thing I'm curious about. All right, let's keep going.
Absolutely not.
Doing talent shows at 3 a.m.
So you're saying that the rumors are true. There are rumors circulating that Rihanna was actually trapped here. Are you saying that
Starting to sound that way, don't it?
It do.
Because her daddy ain't show up till 24 hours later to pick up a $500,000 check for his daughter's ass.
Oh, John probably so dramatic, but I love it. Sometimes I feel like she with the it's, but I it's very dramatic, but it's quite right. I don't know why I'm having such a hard time bringing up the studio. I'm trying to do these polls, so I'm going to see if I can do it. All right. I don't remember exactly where I was going to stop, but I'll let it play for just a minute until I'm ready to stop.
Maybe we should look more into that album, Auntie. That album cover was disturbing. A child bride with a crown over her head and smeared on her face.
The whole situation is beyond crazy, but why would Jay-Z pay Rihanna's father that much money in the first place? It starts making sense though when you remember that Rihanna once shared how her dad was cruel towards her and her mother, hurting them on multiple occasions. Jaguar Wright claims that her father allegedly sold her to Jay-Z, and even her publicist's story seems to point out in that direction. But before we get into what the publicist said, let's talk about another claim from Jaguar Wright. She also alleged that Jay-Z would force Rihanna to perform certain favors for industry men at events. Jaguar even suggested that this might have been the reason that Chris Brown lashed out on Rihanna back in 2009.
And Rihanna ain't innocent, because she was in there giving that nigga blow job in the coat closet when Chris Brown came in. He said, "Oh, he's sucking something." Then he said, "I'm done with you," and he stormed out of Clive Davis' house, got into his very expensive car, and Rihanna chased after him. She gets in the car and started fighting on him because he embarrassed her for calling her a sucking and saying in front of everybody that she gave him at Clive Davis' house the night before the Grammys.
So what did Rihanna's publicist say about all this? Well, he hinted very strongly that Jay-Z's hands weren't all clean, and Rihanna was allegedly And get this, he claimed in an interview that the feds had once interrogated him about Jay-Z's alleged scheme and that they believed that Rihanna could have been one of his. He said, "It's time for me to finally set the record straight once and for all, as it's way beyond shocking, messy, and just flat out crazy as F. Prepared to be blown away as what I have been through over the years involving this historical scandal that needs to be put to bed for good. Yes, heads are gonna roll, and people will be floored, but the truth needs to be revealed." According to him, when he put out what he believed to be fake rumors about Jay-Z and Rihanna, he was taken in by the feds and interrogated because they had been investigating Jay-Z for. He said, "One day, unmarked law enforcement cars stopped me. These intimidating individuals introduced themselves as a federal task force, and they requested to speak with me. So I followed them to talk, and I was in a complete state of panic. As I sat in the desolate makeshift interrogation room, the gravity of the situation became clear to me." He continued, "They mentioned that they had been keeping a close watch on Jay-Z since he spilled Lance on Rivera, and he was also being implicated in a incident with R. Kelly during their joint tour, promoting Jay-Z and R. Kelly's joint album. The officers clarified that they were investigating Jay-Z for allegedly engaging in an intimate activity with young Rihanna and transporting her across international borders. They said she wasn't the only one, and there were many others." He added, "No one benefits from reckless ambition." He says the interrogation was a brutal reality check. However, looking back now, there are some serious red flags, as Jay-Z was once very close to R. Kelly, and they have 2 collaborative albums. They have like 30 songs together, and they have toured together. As we all know, Jay-Z has also been extremely.
Now that was something that I was not aware of in terms of this relationship that Jay-Z had with R. Kelly. But apparently, even after he was either arrested or incarcerated, he worked with Kelly to create more songs. But anyway, this was just really interesting. I'm not gonna play this whole thing. This is Miss T. All right, I'll put a link in the description box if those of you, because this is about like maybe half of it. If those of you want to watch the rest of it, because it was really interesting. Where the red flags are, and just 2286 that I'm on 2 speed trying to catch up. Don't worry, Queen, you're gonna catch up. No worries. You can always roll it back later if you want to. But anyway, so I saw some red flags in these lyrics, and so that's what we're gonna look at right now. We're gonna take a look at some of these Rihanna lyrics. So let me bring it up on my screen because I had I think I tried to put it in StreamYard, but you can't see it. So like here is one, it's kind of, so I see now it doesn't even make sense to try to show that because you can't see it. So let me do this. Let me just share my computer screen and we will take a look. Hang on a second. And okay, so actually, you know what? Before I do that, let me show you guys her album. Let me do this. Yeah, let me show you her discography. Okay. So here's her various album covers, starting with the first one. So her first album is Music of the Sun. Okay, that's the first album, Music of the Sun. This is 2005, so she would have been 17 when she came out with this one. You guys still able to? Yeah, okay, good. So this is her album, Music of the Sun. So she has songs called Ponder Replay, Here I Go Again, If It's Loving That You Want. This is a 17-year-old, mind you. You Don't Love Me, No, No, No. That La La La, The Last Time, Willing to Wait, Music of the Sun, Let Me, Rush, There's a Thug in My Life, which we're going to look at those lyrics. Now I Know, we're going to look at those lyrics. But if it's loving that you want, let's take a look at those lyrics. Okay. Let me make this as big as I can because this is where things start to get a little interesting. Okay. I want to let you know that you don't have to go. Don't wonder no more what I think about you. If it's loving that you want, then you should make me your girl. Your girl. If it's loving that you need, then baby, come and share my world. Share my world. Oh, if it's loving that you want, come and take a walk with me. Because everything that you need, I got right here, baby. Now it's obvious you need a friend to come hold you down. Be that one you share your everything when no one's around. Baby, come tell me your secrets and tell me your dreams, because I can see you need someone to trust. You can trust in me. Okay, so that's pretty much her lyrics, and then it repeats. This is a 17-year-old girl, okay, with these racy lyrics. They're racy, in my opinion. That's Pond de Replay, all right? Let's look at the last time, because I didn't look at this one. Okay. Once was a time you and I made a promise till the day we die. I trusted each and every word, never thinking I'd get burned. Silly me, I believed in your fairy tales. Boy, I thought I knew you so very well, but you walked on my pride, all the tears that I cried, and it cuts like a knife. It's the last time you're ever going to kiss these lips or ever will deceive these eyes. Believe me when I tell you this, baby boy, it's the last time I'm ever going to cry these tears. I'm never going to hear your lies. So listen while I make it clear in case you didn't hear. This time's the last time. There's no time to give it one more try. So there's only time to say goodbye. And she talks about fool me once, shame on you, fool me twice. Now the song is through. The things you said I can never forget. The things you did fill my heart with regret. But I'm still standing tall as I walk away, and you'll know that it's true when you hear me say, it's over, it's through. Ain't a thing you can do, boy, it's sad, but it's true. All right, so that's the last time. Now let's look at There's a Thug in My Life. This is her first album. She is 17 and probably just turned 17. Well, okay, if she released this on August 29th, then she was like 17 in some months. But anyway, so here's There's a Thug in My Life. Gotta keep it on the down low. I'll never let my mama know. Only call him on my cell phone. Only see him after dark. I met him on the 6 train. She's talking about the 6 train in New York. Okay. She said, I met him on the 6 train, just the way he said my name. The brother had a lot of game, had me open from the start. He scoops me up in his ride. Friday about 8:45. So fly and so fine. I'm so glad that he's all mine. There's a thug in my life. How am I going to tell my mama? She going to say it ain't right, but he's so good to me. There's a thug in my life, and it's going to cause crazy drama. I'm going to see him tonight. I'm going to give him everything. I know his crew's kind of shady. Y'all hear this? Are y'all getting this? There's a thug in my life, and it's going to cause crazy drama. I'm going to see him tonight. I'm going to give him everything. So basically, she's saying she about to go all the way. I know his crew is kind of shady. Sometimes it gets kind of crazy, but he treats me like a lady, gives me everything I need. I don't care who's hating on me because every night he's waiting on me. He's got a mad personality, a side they never see. My friends tell me to slow down, but every time that he's around, my heart's on lockdown. I feel love, and I'm so proud. You know what was crazy? Jay-Z telling this girl that the only safe way out, that not the only safe way out, but that if she didn't give him what he wanted, she was going to have to go out the window. That was crazy. I know his crew's kind of shady. Yeah, Jay-Z, I'm just saying, this is all alleged. This is like, look at it as a conspiracy theory. I'm just saying it's very interesting. Okay, I don't care who's hating on me. Well, why would they be hating on you unless you messing with somebody else's man? Anyway, he's got a mad personality, a side they never see. Anyway, and then it just keeps going. Mama, don't worry. I'm not in a hurry. I won't disappoint you. I won't make you sorry. He's the one for me. He's all I ever need. We'll be together from now to forever. I know he's the real thing. If you don't, whatever. And I know it's meant to be. I remember being this age, and I write poetry. I don't know if you guys know that about me, but I do write poetry. I've written a lot of things. I've done, many years of spoken word when I was in college, but as a 16, 17-year-old, I often wrote about what was going on in my life. So when you write lyrics like this, and I do believe that a lot of this is coming from Rihanna, I'd have to verify like who wrote these songs, but I believe it's her. You low-key tell on yourself, okay? Then she has on the same album, because it probably took about a year to get this album up, a song called Now I Know. Now I know. Okay, I can't see your comments right now, so just give me just a second. Now I know. Here it is. Took a chance, rolled the dice on me and you. Opened up, let you in my world like a dance. Started slow and then love to control. Swept away, so proud to be a girl. But when you write a story much too fast, sometimes a happy ending doesn't last. Well, if Jay-Z was messing around with Rihanna, he has Beyonce, so obviously it's not going to last. You know, he was just getting him a little cookies out of cookie jar. Now I know that love ain't meant to be a plaything. Now I know it's not an ordinary everyday thing. Now I know that when it's right, it's so amazing, but when it's wrong, you gotta let it go. Now I know, now I know. Remember when we said our love will last forever? But then again, how are we to know? I mean, the thing is, she's a young girl, 16, 17, don't know anything about love. The way that she's writing this is if she experienced something. There comes a time that love will change like stormy weather. A sunny day will suddenly turn cold. Time will teach you all you need to learn, but there'll always be a first time you get burned. Okay. She said, I don't regret a single day, joy and pain along the way. A broken heart's the price we pay. As sad as it may seem, baby, can you see? It's the way it's got to be. And then the verse repeats. All right, so that was that. Now, getting into her second album, A Girl Like Me. She's got songs like SOS, Kisses Don't Lie, Unfaithful, We Ride, Them Haters, Final Goodbye, Break It Off, Crazy Thing Called Love, Selfish Girl, P.S. I'm Still Not Over You, A Girl Like Me, A Million Miles Away, If It's Loving That You Want Part 2, Who You Gonna Run To, Pound the Replay, and Could Have Been the One. That's her second album, okay? Sounds like she's still having a hard time getting over whoever she was messing around with from the year before. Then we get to Good Girl Gone Bad. Okay. Now she would have been what, 19? 19 when she recorded this. So this is Umbrella featuring Jay-Z. Push Up On Me, Don't Stop the Music, Breaking Dishes, Shut Up and Drive. Hate That I Love You, Say It, Sell Me Candy. Let Me Get That. Let's look at the lyrics for Rehab. Baby, baby, when we first met, I never felt something so strong. You were like my lover and my best friend, all wrapped into one with a ribbon on it. All of a sudden, you went and left. I didn't know how to follow. It's like a shot that spun me around, and now my heart left. I feel so empty and hollow. And I'll never give myself to another the way I gave it to you. Don't even recognize the ways you hurt me, do you? It's going to take a miracle to bring me back, and you're the one to blame. And now I feel like, oh, you're the reason why I'm thinking I don't want to smoke on these cigarettes no more. I guess that's what I get for wishful thinking. I should have never let you into my door. Next time you want to go and leave, I should have just let you go and do it. Because now I'm using like I bleed. It's like I checked into rehab and baby, you're my disease. She's 19. Damn, ain't it crazy when your love sweat? You'll do anything for the one you love. Because anytime that you needed me, I'd be there. It's like you were my favorite drug. The only problem is that you was using me in a different way that I was using you. But now that I know it's not meant to be, you got to go. I got to wean myself off of you. I see myself in a lot of these lyrics because I remember the first time I was in love with someone and I realized not too long after that they just used me and they weren't in love with me. You know, they just wanted what I had, you know, because I was in love. I freely gave it. I'm just saying. I was young and dumb, like many people. Now let's look at Good Girl Gone Bad. I think this is the one. Okay, so here's the lyric. Let me just check on the comments real quick. Okay, I want to make sure that I'm not I want to make sure I'm not neglecting everybody. Shout out to I Am Mrs. BB. Doesn't sound like Jay-Z. Auntie Eva, I said the same thing. Say it isn't so. Say it isn't so. But here's the thing. Jaguar Wright sounds like a conspiracy theorist. That's what it sounds like. But they said the same thing about Wendy. They said the same thing about Wendy when Wendy was saying what she was saying about Diddy, right? So Jaguar Wright is no Wendy Williams. Wendy Williams built her career over many, many years and earned the respect of the industry, right? And she's known for validating her information. So far, Jaguar Wright has not really been wrong, and little by little, everything that she's talked about is coming out. So we don't have to like her, but there's something to some of what she's saying. All right, so let's get into this last song because this one threw me. I think this is the one. All right, so we stay moving around solo. Ask us where you at. We don't know and don't care. All we know is we was at home because you left us there. Let me start this again. We stay moving around solo. Ask us where you at. We don't know and don't care. All we know is we was at home because you left us there. You got your boys and got gone and left us all alone. Now she in the club with a freaky dress on. Cats don't want her to keep that dress on, trying to get enough drinks in her system to take it to the telly and make her a victim. You know, telly, that word is shorthand for hotel, right? We don't say hotel, we say telly, but that means hotel, okay? Now she in the club with a freaky dress on. Cats, meaning dudes, don't want her to keep that dress on, trying to get enough drinks in her system to take it to the hotel to make her a victim. What do y'all hear? What does that sound like to you? Patron on the brain, ball player in your face. They shake the spot, she's just another case. Easy for a good girl to go bad. And once we've gone, best believe we gone forever. Don't be the reason, don't be the reason. You better learn how to treat us right. Because once a good girl goes bad, we done forever. Could she be talking about herself? That she's the good girl gone bad? And I say that because if you look at her album covers and her videos and her lyrics, her songs are fire. Don't get me wrong. I love me some Rihanna. And she has a good support system for what I can see. And she's doing very well for herself in this industry with her makeup line and her skincare line and her lingerie and her perfume line, right? He's staying with a flock of them. Oh, yeah. Got a girl at home, but he don't care. Ooh. Well, the only person I could think of that was around her that allegedly was messing around with her that got a girl at home is Jay-Z. I could be reach. It could be a reach. It could be a reach. But anyway, he's staying with the flock of them. Oh, yeah, got a girl at home, but he don't care, won't care. All he'll do is keep me at home, won't let me go nowhere. He thinks because I'm at home, I won't be getting it on. And now I'm finding numbers in the jacket pockets, trick calling the house nonstop. It's getting out of control. Finally, I can't take it no more. Yeah. He finds a letter on the stairs saying, this is the end. I packed my bag and left with your best friend. It's easy for a good girl to go bad. And once we've gone, best believe we've gone forever. Ooh, child. I think that was the last one that I wanted to show y'all. I think that was the last one. I'm going to look at some stuff on my screen over here just to see, make sure I didn't miss anything. But I'm telling y'all, when I read those lyrics, I said, oh my goodness. What was this young lady trying to tell us back then? And, you know, a lot of times we think that this is just a song. She's got another song called Cry. This is off of the same album. I'm not the type to get my heart broken. I'm not the type to get upset and cry because I never leave my heart open. Never hurts me to say goodbye. Relationships don't get deep to me. Never got that whole in love thing. And someone can say they love me truly, but at the same time, it didn't mean a thing, right? Let me pull this up because I need to show y'all something. And then we're gonna get into Dwayne Wade because he got some baby. They got some drama over there. So now it's, I never got that whole in love thing. Relationships don't get deep to me. So now she's saying relationships ain't no thing, right? She done poured her heart out and all these other songs. I can't get over you. I'm stuck, because you do tend to, it's hard for you to get over your first, right? The first person you ever slept with. She says, never got that whole in love thing. And someone can say they love me truly. Someone can say, this is present tense. Okay, let's look at let's look at the grammar here and break this down. Someone can say they love me truly, but at the time, it didn't mean a thing. She's talking about something that was past tense. So who told her they loved her, but it didn't really mean a thing, right? And this album came out in, hold on a second. This was May 31st of 2007. Here's what I want to do. I want to Google something. When did Rihanna start dating Chris Brown? Okay, let me see. The Umbrella Singer's first serious relationship began in 2008, 3 years after she launched her music career with her debut album, Music of the Sun. Let me show y'all this. Okay. She and Chris Brown dated until February of 2009 when he was arrested for physically assaulting her. All right. So that being said, who is she talking about if it's not Chris Brown? Riddle me that. This is why I say some disturbing rumors about Rihanna and Jay-Z. Yes, her first, hold on one second. I'm sorry, I'm trying to catch up. I'm trying to catch up to the comments. All right, so Kia, Auntie Eva, I'm trying to make sense of what I walked into. Rihanna's song lyrics, I have to catch up. So Kia, we're talking about some rumors surrounding Jay-Z and Rihanna. Rihanna went on the Tyra Banks show talking about when she first got signed to Jay-Z, and she said that, you know, there was all these people in the room. She was 16 years old at the time. They flew her out to New York. She was in a hotel, a high-rise hotel at that, in New York, without parental supervision or lawyer. Jay-Z had her in that hotel room locked in with her and whoever he was with, and basically told her that all we do is sign artists. I'm interested in you. So either you sign this contract and you can go out that front door, or you can go out the window, and we're on the 29th floor. Okay? We heard her say that. Now, there were rumors that she was potentially traffic stopped. Okay, I can't say the other word. All right. And so because they flew her from Barbados by herself to New York, and after the contract was signed, her father came the next day to pick up a $500,000 check. Okay. Again, this is all alleged. This is Jaguar Wright saying this. Okay. I have heard some rumors about this potentially before. And so I wanted to study her lyrics to see, because after this, I started looking at her album, because Jaguar Wright mentions an album cover that is suspect, with her looking like a child bride. I couldn't find it, but I went through her discography and I started looking at from her first album what her song titles were. And there's a progression where they start out a little innocent and they get more and more risque. And she's talking about these relationships. And it kind of sounds like she's talking about Jay-Z. I'm just saying. We know that she was madly in love with Chris Brown and that whole thing. But who else was she with before Chris Brown? Nobody. So who is she talking about? And make sure you get Ponder Replay, okay? Not Rihanna Ponder Replay, but Wisdom Doctor Ponder Replay, and you'll catch up. No worries. I was being funny. Fine was in the lyrics referring to the man. Yeah. So that's basically what we're covering is there are these rumors, and some of these rumors seem to be, hold on a second. Can I get this out the way? Some of these rumors seem to be backed up by her lyrics. She's a young lady. She's a young lady, you know, and oftentimes, you know, youth, young people, young adults will put their real whatever they're dealing with in real life in their stories, their poems. And honestly, like these songs, they're not. It's poetry. It's just poetry put to a beat. And so I'm just curious because this is not just somebody who wrote a song. This sounds very, very personal, and it tracks, right? You're the best thing that ever happened to me. I got a thug in my life. All is well. My mom is not gonna like it. I love you. This is the best life ever. Then it goes to, okay, but I know we can't be together because you don't love me, and I have to try to let you go, but I need to go to rehab because I can't get over you. So it's I'm in love. My man, my man, my man. Oh no, you can't be my man, my man, my man, because you got somebody else at home, at home, at home. I gotta get over you, but I need rehab, rehab, rehab. To now I'm guarded. Now I'm not the type to get my heart broken. I'm not the type to get upset and cry, but she did get her heart broken, and we know that she was upset and she cried. She had to be, because chances are she was with somebody, and it's smelling like it might have been Jay-Z. That's just a theory though. And if he was intimate with her and that was her first time, of course she's going to be in love with the man, right? He helped her build her career. She's going to feel some type of loyalty towards him. Okay. But there's an interview that we looked at from Miss T, or her video, and part of that, Rihanna was doing an interview where she's talking about Jay-Z, and it feels like she's saying this because she has to, not because she really feels it. And so when she says things like, relationships now, she's saying it doesn't hurt me to say goodbye. Relationships don't get that deep to me. I never got the whole in love thing. And someone can say they love me truly, but at the time it didn't mean a thing. So she's talking in present tense, but then she's referring back to past tense. So maybe somebody told her they loved her, but it didn't really mean a thing because she was just being used. So that's what we were talking about. So anyway, y'all let me know what y'all think. I can't do polls right now. There's a glitch in the system. YouTube is weird that way. If you start on one channel and then you go to stream on another channel, the history still has that other channel and it's not pulling up the chat. So I will put the poll up on the community wall. We won't do it right now. But we're gonna move on to the next topic. All right, if all hearts and minds are clear. But yeah, very interesting. Very, very interesting. This is just ultimately what I think. The next topic, I'm gonna go ahead and put the link to call in because y'all might have something y'all want to say about this. Y'all might have something y'all want to say. I may have to drop the link a few times because I won't be able to pin it right now. But anyway, I went ahead and dropped the link for those of you who want to call in with a comment. Anyway, so yeah, you guys let me know in the comments what you guys think. Jessie said she finally caught up. Jessie is hilarious. She put the live on 2 times. So she was, I was talking like this, and it was really fast, and I was talking about Jay-Z and Jay-Z and blah. That's what it would have sounded like. So anyway. But she said she finally caught up, so that's the good thing. I mean, I'm glad you caught up. I don't know, but what I can say is that what Rihanna has said out of her mouth sounds very suspicious. And I also heard some things about Jay-Z funding the Me Too movement, and that may have been just a ruse to cover up what was really going on. And the question was asked, well, where's the Me Too movement now? Right? Because we have women and men. Where is the Me Too movement now? They were very, very much active with Bill Cosby, very much active with Epstein. They were very much active with Harry Weinstein? What the man name is? I can't remember, but y'all know what I'm talking about, right? The Hollywood guy, right? Where is the Me Too movement with Diddy and all these victims? It's a very good question. So, all right, moving on. Moving right along. I want to talk about a couple things. But I want to talk about this. Here is Gabrielle Union, Dwayne Wade, his biological son, and I'm saying biological son because his son has transitioned to female, but is still biologically male, and his other son. Okay? Gabrielle Union is smiling like a Cheshire cat. No issues here. Okay? Here is a picture of what his son looked like, I guess, at the beginning of the transition, because I think he looks a little feminine here. And this is, Lord forgive me, I'm going to say the name wrong. I think it's Zaya is the name. It was Zion, but now it's Zaya. Okay? Here he is again with his son, dressed as she now identifies as a woman. And he's smiling like he won the lottery. Okay? Here's another picture. Now, if I showed you that picture first, would you ever believe that that was a boy? Probably wouldn't. Okay. And here is probably a better picture of the three of them before he transitioned. Okay. Here's another side by side. Here's the difference. Now, I have a lot of questions. Because I don't understand a few things. My first question is, how is it that Dwayne Wade, if he's a straight man, and I'm saying if because allegedly he swings both ways. Allegedly, Gabrielle Union has caught him in some sticky situations, bromancing and whatnot, right? She caught him in a bromance. This kind of situation is a little personal to me, and I'll tell you guys why later. Because I've kind of been through a similar situation with someone having to reconcile the fact that their son has come out as LGBTQ and has often talked about identifying as trans, although they have not, transitioned. And I've seen evidence of this in text messages and the iPad stuff and whatnot, and discussions about RuPaul and drag queens and everything else. And so I'm wondering, how is it that Dwayne Wade was able to so easily deal with the situation and encourage it, no less? Right? There's some men in here. Jules Poetry, where you at? Harvey. I said Harry. Harvey Weinstein, thank you. Jules Poetry. Am I wrong for thinking that most straight men would have a very difficult time accepting that their son, the young man that's supposed to be their legacy and carry on their name, now wants to wear wigs and dresses and makeup and nails? And it's not to say that we don't love our kids. Saucy Santana's mama is writing a book. I don't know if she actually finished the book or not, but was working on a book some months back to tell her story about how she dealt with accepting the fact that her son is the way that he is. Because he is a gay male, but he's also what we would term a flame. He's very, very overly feminine. Okay, almost more feminine than a woman, so to speak. And that's who he is. And his mama struggled with accepting him as that. But I'm trying to figure out what's going on in the White House. I'm trying to figure out how he's standing next to his, I guess it's his daughter now, which is really his son, Cheesin. So that was the first question that I have. The second question that I have is, what was this child exposed to that led to this? Because children go through phases, and I remember going through many phases, especially when around the time that my biological mom and biological dad were going through a divorce. It had a huge effect on me. So you feel one way today and you feel a different way tomorrow. And you have families that are encouraging their teenagers to do things like get surgery to have their tatas removed, and to have other surgery to have other parts of their body turned inside out to change their biology. I mean, they can change it on the outside, but you still are what you are on the inside. And how many people have come forward saying that I had I don't know what they call it, reversal surgery, gender reversal surgery, and I regret it now. So I'm trying to figure out, because I've heard in these YouTube streets and in other areas of social media that Mr. Dwayne Wade is living out his fantasies through his child. What do y'all think? Y'all think that this man, is that the reason why he was so accepting and encouraged it? This child's biological mama has been fighting Wade for custody, did not support this child getting into modeling and wearing girls' clothes and all of those things, and said, no, too young to make those kind of decisions for themselves, need to wait, and wondering, you know, I left my son in your hands and I came back to a daughter. What the hell you been doing over there in the Wade house? And there are rumors that the Wade house, now it may not be on the Diddy kind of level, but the Wade house have freak offs of their own. And that who did they say ran from the Wade house? Was it Brashear? Was he one of the ones that ran from the Wade house? I heard that, and again, it's so alleged that Will Smith and then was over there. All right. Now again, Jaguar Wright has spoken about this. Okay, about young boys screaming for their lives, running from the Wade house. But again, say what you want to say about her, but she hasn't really been wrong. Auntie Eva and Jesse said, good questions. Oh my. Wade had a white LGBTQ nanny. Okay. Wait a minute. Clutching my pearls. A male nanny that was LGBTQ? I agree with her. The mother, he was so young when all this started. Too young to make those kinds of decisions. Yes, you want to support your children. I told you guys that I volunteer in student ministry, right, at the church. So we have like a separate, building for all the young people to basically have their own kind of classes in church and everything on their level. And I was in training earlier today. And the training was twofold. We were getting certified or recertified in CPR. And we also talked about disaster preparedness. So one of the things that churches are vulnerable for when you have youth groups and things like that is missing children, right? When a child goes missing. And one of the things that we talked about is the fact that you cannot let a child just do what they want to do. Okay. Clutching My Pearl said, Google it. Oh, wow. Oh, I sure will. Sure will. Look at Harper Blue with the red hair Bitmoji and the Starbucks. Now I'm gonna have to leave here after this live and take my butt to Starbucks. He was probably 13 if I remember correctly. And so you can't let a child just do whatever they want to do. Just because a child has the mouth to speak their opinion and how they feel doesn't mean that they have the know-how and the foresight and the forethought to understand the consequences of their decisions right now. Their brains are not that developed. Children live in the right now. They don't have the ability to think about down the line, right? They have you ever seen if you've ever been to New York City or seen movies about New York City, or if you've ever been anywhere around service horses, like when the police officers are on horses, you ever see those blinders that they put on the horses so that they can only see what's in front of them? Well, young people, youth, that is how their brain operates. It operates very much like tunnel vision. And so I'm gonna get to her in a second. We talking about the daddy right now. I'm gonna get to her in a second because there's some very interesting things in that relationship. And so I don't understand this, but I wonder if Gabrielle Union is keeping some of Wade's secrets. Here's what's interesting. This is when this picture was taken early on in their relationship or marriage. Okay. They look real happy. Don't they look so happy? This is what they look like now. Does she look happy to you? He don't look happy either. Gabrielle Union is the keeper of secrets. There's a lot of secrets going on. There's a lot that has not come out, but apparently there's some things that was going down with some young boys, and that Gabrielle Union initially they took a break because, and I believe did he father a child during that break? I can't remember, but I think because she found him doing some things. Okay, it's the same reason why Will Smith's first wife left him. Okay, not because, as he likes to tell it, he wasn't making enough money and he wasn't a star yet, but legend has it, and rumor has it, I should say, that she caught him in bed with another man. I'm just saying. She looked happy. He didn't. Still doesn't. Yeah. Let me go back to the other picture. Okay. I mean, he looks pretty decent. You know, he's not a, well, you know what? I was gonna say he's not a smiley person, but he sure is smiling standing next to his son in a dress. He sure is. He's smiling here too, looking at his son with some high booty shorts on and some heels. Yeah, he looked real happy. Okay. Now that's his GQ face right there. All right. But then he looked like they had an argument right before they came out. Looked like she was accepting some kind of award or presenting an award. But anyway, but that's what I'm trying to figure out. The men that are in the chat, because I know there are some of you that are even in the bushes. Like, how would you feel? Would this be easy for you to say, well, son, if that's how you feel and you want to be a girl, no problem. I'm gonna take you shopping and buy you some dresses. This young person doesn't have a job. Where did he get the money to get weave and eyelashes and dresses and purses and heels, unless they took him shopping for it? You understand what I'm saying? Y'all help me figure it out, because I don't get it. And I'm just wondering what happened to this child. Was this child exposed to something? Did somebody do something to the child? I'm gonna get on Will Smith a little bit later. I'm just gonna share y'all the one little thing that I have by Will Smith, and we gonna end with Will Smith. But yeah, so this is just some food for thought. Let's get into their relationship, because that's also what I want to talk about. I want to talk about this idea of 50-50 in a relationship. And here's where I want you guys to potentially call in if you want to speak on it and let me know what y'all think about a 50-50 relationship. Should relationships be 50-50, right? Is there ever a time when a relationship should not be 50-50? I don't know any men who would support that, but I'm old, so there's that. Auntie Eva, I'm old too. And I don't know. But so I'm going to play a soundbite for you guys. I'm going to play a soundbite for you. All right. And before I do, in case you didn't see the community post, I just want to update all of you and let you know that I did find out what happened with Bad Girls Talk. It was the YouTube glitch. They put out communication on their channel stating that there were something happened in their system where a number of accounts were wrongfully terminated for like spam and deceptive practices, that it was an error. And they know why it happened. This is what they're saying. They're saying they know why it happened, and they were working to get everyone's accounts restored. My account was restored within an hour. So it had nothing to do with anybody being petty. Although somebody would love to take credit for, yeah, I got it taken down. No, you didn't. YouTube said they did it, and they sorry. They said, I'm so sorry. Okay. They said, I'm so sorry. Yeah. So I just wanted to clear that up. That was that. And that's why I said I'm not going to point the finger at anybody, because I don't know. But I'm glad that YouTube cleared it up and that they put that information out. And y'all, there's some very, very, very nice changes coming to YouTube that I'm happy about. And so those of you who have YouTube channels, your shorts now, you're going to be able to have 3-minute shorts. Okay, that's going to start on October 15th, 3-minute shorts, which is great, because sometimes I'm like, oh, I just need a couple more seconds. So anyway, if you are enjoying the video and you want to send a cash app, you can send it to Bad Girls Talk. All right. And also make sure you check out Butters and Black Soaps after the live. Okay, they've got some amazing products on their website. African Black Soap. They have all types of hair oils, skin oils. Oh my gosh, this stuff smells so good. They have body creams for dry skin, stuff to make your hair grow. Those of you who send me the email requesting the Chubby information, I sent it out to you. All right. And I'll be putting some stuff up on the community wall so that you guys can get a little bit more information about some of their products that you may want to try out. All right. So now that I have gotten to that business, let me play this soundbite for y'all. Okay. I'm going to play Dwayne Wade's soundbite first. And then I'm going to play what Gabrielle Union said. And my question is, why would she do this? So June's Poetry said, what is 50-50? That is a great segue. Let Dwayne Wade explain to you the 50-50. Here we go.
50-50 in our household is, first of all, let's say I have 20 to 50 responsibilities. Right. And my wife have 20 to 50 responsibilities. And when I say that, that means she has a mother, she has her sisters, she has her dad, she has a lot of things that she's responsible for. Right. You know what she does? Right. She pays 100% of that. Right. You know what I do? I pay 100% of my life. When our life come together, my wife is a working actress who spends time away from the family to go work, do our job. Build. Right. We decided together, because I think I said one time we was in Miami, I said something about it being my house that I paid for. My wife looked at me, she was like, you will never say that to me again when it's something that we share. And so my wife was like, that when we moved to LA, I got half on it. You will never say my house again. Yeah. And so in our life, our home, 50-50, we purchased it together. Right. Our daughter, anything that goes on with our daughter, 50-50, we share it together. Right. Now, it's some things I pick up versus some things she pick up, but she does something I do something. Right. If we take a yacht trip, we could do it 50-50, or I can do it myself. But my wife is a working woman. Right. She's a boss and an independent woman in her own life. Right. She's like, I'm gonna put, you know what, that little 200 that you was gonna spend on this, I'm gonna throw something else on there and we're gonna go on a bigger trip. We're gonna ball out. Like, this is my wife. Right. Right? Like, I don't know about y'all, but I like having a wife that's like, that's cool, you can do that. We could have had a nice house on my 50% too. Right. It'd have been nice. Right. She was like, no, let me put something else on and let us live a little different.
So June's Poetry said, what is 50-50? And so that's Dwayne Wade on Club Shay Shay. Okay. I don't remember how long ago that interview was. I think it was within the past year. And so basically what happened is they were in Miami. They had a little tiff. And he was like, oh, the house that I paid for. And she was like, what you say? Run that back. What you say? What you say to me? Nah, bro. See, no, see, that's what you ain't gonna do. That's what you're not gonna do. So from now on, we get back, we splitting everything 50-50. You will never again say your house. Now, why did she do that? He makes, for example, $140 million a year, and her income might be closer to $40 million, right? So he's making 3 to 4 times more than what my math might be off. Anyway, he's making almost 3 times what she's making. Okay, somewhere around there, a little more. And she, as he said, is taking care of her mother's household 100%. And who knows who, maybe her sister, what other households. So if y'all want to know why her face look like this is why her face look like this.
It's weird to say I'm head of household because in this household, we split everything 50-50.
Gabrielle Union's comment about her finances with hubby Dwayne Wade getting mixed reactions on social media.
I work my butt off, but he's, every day he gets up and delivers again and again and again.
I struggle with that still, just because I think I just have more responsibilities, for my money. So I get nervous, like, oh God, that movie didn't open, well, what does that mean? Am I gonna have enough to hold everybody up?
And that's when Gabrielle explains why bills are split evenly in their home.
But in the other households that each of us have to support, it puts there's always this like gorilla on your back that it is like, you better work, you better work. You gonna sleep in? Somebody might not eat.
Now, why would this woman put herself in a situation like that? Why would she do that? Seems like they have a relationship where she's dominant in every way. She put herself in this situation. He wasn't requiring her to pay half Okay, this is like women who like, no, I'm not getting a prenup. I trust my husband. I trust my man. And to get a prenup is like, you think that if we get a prenup, you're already thinking that it's not going to work out. But anyway, she put herself in that position because, number one, why are you paying 100% of other households? For what? Why would you agree to that? Now, I don't know where her mom lives, if she bought her mom a house, because a lot of times these stars get rich and they want to buy mama a house, and then they end up having to pay all the bills in the house because now you done bought your mama a little mini mansion, and she doesn't have the money to pay the property taxes or to. So she sounds like she is paying 100% of the bills in multiple households. I would start there by cutting back. California community property law says everything is 50-50 no matter who makes the money. I don't know where they live. I don't know, but that's interesting. California community property laws. But see, here's the thing. He said his house. That means he bought it. All she's doing is saying, well, I'm going to cover half of the mortgage and half of the bills in this house because you will never say again, this is your house. Now, why she's living in a house and her name is not on it, and I'm assuming her name is not, maybe they did a quick claim deed and he added her name on, I'm not sure. But he makes a significant, more than double what she makes. And now she's struggling because she's trying to match what he's doing with all of this money. He makes 3 times what she makes, plus he has less responsibilities outside the household. Why would she do that? Right? There was a time when I was very for the whole 50-50 relationship. Like, yeah, it should be 50-50. You contribute, you guys kind of, you bring your half and he brings his half. But then I got married. Then I got grown. Then I started having children. Okay. And I started thinking real differently. I don't know if a household can really be 50-50 or if it should be 50-50 because the other person may not have enough to match what you have, right? Somebody typically is going to make more than the other. It's not often you have a household where y'all making almost exactly the same amount of money. So it's interesting. And what a man, I already know what June's Poetry is going to say. June's Poetry, would Uncle Willie be comfortable with his wife paying half of everything? Because I came from the culture of the husband provides, right? And it's not many, but I still have a few friends who basically cover all the bills in their household. They make sure that their wife and their family have a roof over their head, so they pay the mortgage and the property taxes and the light bill and the electric bill and the internet bill and all of that. The wife may pay her own cell phone bill, and she may, contribute towards the grocery bill if she's working. But basically the man is providing, right? I think this is terrible that Gabrielle Union is struggling like this. And I'm just trying to understand why she put herself in that position. So June's Poetry, I don't know if you're still with us, but if you have a thought, let us know. You can definitely call in. But yeah, I'm pretty sure that this has caused a lot of issues. You heard her. She says that there's a monkey on my back, and you better work. You better work. You want to sleep in? Somebody may not eat. It reminds me of people who are from the Caribbean and other countries outside of the U.S. who come to the United States. And they're working. They may or may not be rich, but they're working. And there's a perception by their family in the country that they live. It could be Dominican Republic. It could be Jamaica. It could be Martinique or wherever. Dominica. But there's the perception that because you're living in the U.S., you're doing well for yourself. And they're trying to keep up this image. So now every time they come home to visit, there's an expectation. Not only are they sending money home throughout the year, but they got to buy clothes and bring gifts. And, their family members want the good stuff. They want designer bags and this, that, and the third. They don't want them hand-me-downs. Uncle Willie ain't got a crying dime. He is okay with the woman paying everything. I have always paid everything, including Uncle Willie's expenses. What? I can't even read the rest of the comment. Jules Poetry is hilarious. Yeah, I mean, the thing is, women have grown so strong in their finances and in their, with their education and with their careers that we are surpassing the men. And you're having more and more households where the woman pays for the majority of the bills, right? Where she kind of is the breadwinner, wears the pants. I don't think that works because I think men naturally want to provide, and I think it causes an issue. There are some men that, like Uncle Willie, they love being a freeloader. They don't have an issue with that. But if there's a man who, in his heart of hearts, wants to provide, but he's just not in a position to, and he has to. Hold on a second. What are y'all doing? Get out my room. Get out. Thank you. Come on, let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Thank you. Bye, Gigi. Bye, Allie. I'm like, what are you doing? They are literally sitting at my feet, wrestling, and the sound effects are carrying on. I done lost my train of thought. Anyway, but you have some men that in the heart of hearts, they want to provide, but they're not able to. So they may be in a position where they have to depend more on their woman than they would like to. And I think it does something. I think it makes them insecure. I think it makes them feel emasculated, even if that's not the intention. Auntie Eva says she wants it that way. She's controlling. I think she set herself up. I think she put her foot in her mouth. She said that because she did not want him to ever say that that's his house. She felt some type of way. Was she feeling that way because they had broke up at one point, and she's thinking, well, I've also sowed a seed into this house, and if we break up, this is his house, I would have to leave type of situation. Maybe she doesn't have a prenup. I don't know. But that comment definitely cut deep for her. And she decided, no, from now on, it's going to be 50-50. And Dwayne Wade didn't object. Now, I don't know if he tried to object. Yeah, it was definitely a fair response. She needed to wait 48 hours and then blame it on the alcohol and say, you know what? No, I didn't mean what I said. I am fortunate and would never diminish a man's worth because of his earning capacity. I am fortunate and would never diminish a man's worth because of his earning capacity. So yeah, it's a very interesting dynamic. Now, I don't know why Gabrielle Union, maybe she just wanted a daughter. I don't know why she was so gung-ho on supporting the situation. But let me tell you a situation about a friend. So there was a friend who was in a relationship, and the person that she was with had a son, and she had a son. And so, their sons, they got along. And so they kind of, I guess you could say grew up together just a little bit. And they wanted to be one big happy family. And so, the happy couple said, it would be great if we can get, the kids under one roof. And the friend's significant other said, well, I'm not sure how his mother will feel about that way, but we'll see. So fast forward, and one day, the phone rings, and he's talking to, his son's mother, because the son is in the mother's custody. And, my friend is ear hustling on a conversation, and he puts it on speaker, and she's like, wait, what? What's going on? And the young boy, who's about 11 or 12 at this point, comes out that, he is LGBTQ. Okay. He comes out that he likes boys. And the family's initial reaction is, oh, he's too young to know what he wants. It's a phase. He'll grow out of it. And she over here like, my son ain't liking boys, and they the same doggone age. He a little bit young. He ain't liking what's going on here. And so they struggle. Hey, Onisha's in the building. They struggle with this new reality. Her significant other struggles with the fact that this is his only child, biological child, and his line will end there. That this, his son will probably never have children, and what that means. It didn't go over easy. Her significant other is a man's man, very manly. And so fast forward a few years, they move, and they buy a house together. And at the time, it's just her significant other, and her son. And this man has become like a stepdad or surrogate dad for him. And so the question comes up again. Uh, so and so is older now, and they're going to be starting high school soon and whatnot. And yeah, so what about them moving in? And my friend is like, what you talking about? Isn't your son? Now listen, I'm quoting this. I'm not trying to be respectful, but this is what was said. In your son a fruit cake. That's what was said. It wasn't nice, but that's what was said. Your son likes boys, and my child is a boy. So you want to bring your child that likes boys in the house with my child that don't like boys and is a little bit younger and very impressionable? I don't think that's going to work. And they fight back and forth for months and months and months and months and months on end. And he's upset because he feels like, well, why is it that your son gets to live here but mine doesn't? And she says, because your son is what he is. If he wasn't that way, it wouldn't be a question. I don't think it's safe. And he says, well, we'll just have a conversation with him. She says, what are you talking about? What do you mean you're just going to have a conversation? We'll just talk to him and let him know what the deal is. And so, they said, well, let's do a trial. Let's have him come for the holidays. And it's not 24 hours that they find this young man in her son's room in his bed while he's sleeping. And she's like, what you doing in here? Type situation. So she's like, see, this is exactly why I don't feel comfortable with this. They fight some more. They fight some more. To the point where he says, you know what? I'm just going to move out. I'll get my own place. This way I can get custody of my son and he can live with me. And she's like, okay. But then he says, but that's going to be the end of the relationship. So if I move out, that's it. And she says, well, I got to put my child first. He moves out. I don't know if he ever got the kid or not, but he moves out. And what do y'all think happened just a few months later? Well, I'm not going to keep y'all guessing because we ain't going to be in this live too much longer. All right? Because I done made some red peas and rice and some barbecue chicken, and the girl is getting hungry. So a few months later, he contacts his ex and says, hey, how are you doing? She's like, I'm fine. What's going on? And he's like, yeah, I got to get a lawyer for my son. And she's like, what you mean you got to get a lawyer for your son? What's going on? Well, turns out that his son essayed a little boy. The very same reason why she had concerns about this homosexual young man being in the house with her heterosexual young man and something potentially happening, you know. Everybody is not a predator, but you never know, and you got to be careful. And he says, I understand what you were saying. I get it now. I didn't get it back then, but I understand now. And now I see what you were saying, and you was right. What is the moral of the story? Put your kids first. Put your kids first. And do the safe thing first. Because you can always get another man. You can't get another son. I'm going to be doing a series. It's probably going to be a series on this channel. It won't be live. It'll just be recorded because there are a number of stories that have been brought to my attention of men who allowed their girlfriends or girlfriends or wives to beat and abuse their biological child. Knew that it was going on and let it happen. And as a result, that child perished. And so there's a couple of different stories, and I have to ask myself, why? What kind of parent does that? I would never let anybody discipline my child but me physically if I needed to take it there. Okay? Verbally, you got to say something. We need to have a conversation about it. Listen, your son did this. I want to talk to him. This is what I plan to say. Or do y'all feel like if y'all in a committed relationship, the man or the husband or the stepfather should be able to discipline their stepchildren without, you know, without a discussion from you. What y'all think? Okay. If y'all don't want to write it in the chat, y'all tell me in the comments what y'all think. Because I'm just curious to know how do you guys, and I really want to hear from the men. How do y'all feel about that? Right? How do you feel about that? And it could be a young girl or it could be a boy. And I know there's a stereotype, right? Because is it okay for a man to discipline his stepdaughter? You know. And what's being said? And is that being done behind closed doors, or are the two parents together? Right? I know a lot of marriages that have broken up for that reason, because one parent had an issue with the child and the biological parent was like, that's not your kid, that's my kid, and you don't tell him what to do type of situation. But anyway, I'm going down a rabbit hole. But again, I'm very curious to know what happened with this young man. And how us seniors need love too said no on period. Yeah, on period. Because my friend was wondering, am I the asshole? And I don't mean to cuss, but it's AITA, and you may not understand what AITA is, so I have to tell you, that's a trend on Reddit, right? You see a number of stories on Reddit that say AITA, which stands for Am I the Asshole? Because yada yada yada. And she wanted to know, was she wrong for not allowing, her significant other's son to move in with them, and she stuck to her guns. And had she not, her son more than likely would have been a victim. Right? So I said, that's the least of his worries. Because being LGBTQ is one thing, but being a predator is a whole other thing. They got a problem. Anyway, us seniors need love too said no, period. Auntie Eva said, I feel discipline of a stepchild should happen in the presence of the birth parent. Got to be on the same page. I agree with you. Some of you may feel different, and if you do, let us know down in the chat. But Nesto Shackles Shuckle, I can't even talk. Nesto Shackles Shuffle Walk of Shame said, as long as it's lovingly and appropriately done, I agree with my entire village disciplining my child. And that is the culture that I came from, right? That was back before CPS and all that. If you did something wrong, the babysitter might beat you first. Then the neighbor that lived next to the babysitter might beat you second and send you on home, and then your mama gonna beat you last, right? Or the neighbors would say, you shouldn't be doing that. And I still agree that it takes a village, and that if you see a child doing something wrong, that you should say something. It's more difficult now, because now parents don't speak to my child. I will discipline my child. If you got a problem, you tell me. So now it's the don't say nothing to the child. You just come and tell me, and let the parents handle it. So it's a little bit different now. And I think the other reason why it's different now is because you don't know who to trust anymore. Okay. I wholeheartedly believe, and this is a good segue because I told you I want to show you something about Will Smith. I wholeheartedly believe that Will Smith did something to his own child. Okay. That child has been through something. His sister ain't crazy like that. So what's wrong with him? The older brother is not, hold on one second, y'all, because I'm trying to get into my email and I'm all in the wrong place. The older brother is not messed up like that, right? He looks happy and healthy. So what's wrong with Jaden? Why is Jaden so messed up? I mean, we kind of know why, but why is he so messed up? So let me share with you. Hold on. Let me get to my right email. Let me share with you the article that I found earlier because it was very interesting. So there are rumors. I have to say rumors because they're rumors. There are rumors that Will Smith has actually abused his son. Now, we've seen him kiss Jaden on the lips. Now, I have mixed feelings about that because, number one, it's a man and a boy, right? Even though that's his son. Now, what I'm going to say is a little bit of a double standard because I kissed my dad on the lips, little peck, from the time that I was old enough to do that on my own until the day I held my dad's hand and he breathed his last breath. I always did that, and it wasn't an actual thing. That's my dad, you know. But it was mutual. I never felt uncomfortable. I don't ever remember kissing my dad on the cheek, ever, not once. I've been doing it since I was little. Always right on the lips. Never kissed my dad on the cheek ever once. Hold on a second. So, okay, I got the article up. I can show you that now. But when I saw the video of Will Smith smooching with his son didn't look like he was with it. He looked uncomfortable. He didn't look like he was okay with it. And I think that is the issue. Oh, now the now the chat comes up. So I may still do a poll before we leave, but anyway. Will went in like Jaden was his wife. It was disgusting. Yeah, it was. You're suggesting Will. I would suggest Jada. She voices some things that are not ethical. I mean, the streets are saying it was both of them. Honestly, it was both of them. But there have been too many rumors about Will Smith and boys, Bieber and others. No child that cannot speak should not be with anyone, not biological parents, the parents, or with the parents, if they show no patience with the child. Okay, I kind of get what you're saying, right? There are some people that don't have patience with children, and you may not want them like disciplining your child because they may go overboard. I remember jumping at the dinner table when the phone would ring. My grandmama would go while people are snickering. You can stop jumping because your teacher or miss has already called me about you. Yeah, because you know you did something wrong. So every time your mama got up, you jumped because you was waiting for that whooping. Poor Jaden reminds me of Justin Bieber. Exactly. There's video of them trauma bonding. Let me get this off the screen. It is really, really, really sad about these two. But here's a very interesting article about Will Smith that I'll share before we wrap up, and then I'll do a poll. Okay, so just want to make sure you can see that. This article is titled "Will Smith Emotionally Recalls Terrifying Night Involving His Son. I Fell Down on My Knees." So that's what got me interested. I'm like, what is this about Will Smith? Okay, so Will Smith has been a father for 31 years. So his son is 31. His son Trey is 31. He says, "I'll always remember the terrifying moment when I first became a parent." So Will Smith is 56. He's only 2 years older than Diddy. His oldest son's name is Trey, that he had with his first wife, Cherie Zampino. And then, of course, he has Jaden, who's 26, and Willow, who's 23, with Jada Pinkett. On Thursday, Will appeared at an evening with Will Smith at the Grammy Museum in Los Angeles and spoke about his 1997 song, Just the Two of Us, which he wrote during probably one of the most terrifying times in his life, he says. "It's when my son Trey was born, and he was 24 at the time." He said, "It's crazy, but you're like, I cannot tell you what it was like bringing that child home on the first night and realizing that he was my responsibility." So here's a really cool picture of Will and his son. His son is looking very happy, very healthy. He's cooled down, thank God. He's going to be 32 this year. Will went on to explain that becoming a parent was one of the first real things in his life that shook him to his core. Emotionally recalling the night, again, he brought his son home from the hospital. Okay, he said, "I can't even talk about it because I had talked so crazy about my father and all the stuff my father didn't do. And then I was like, oh no, it's my turn now." So here he is kissing Trey. Trey don't look happy. And this is a kiss on the cheek, but it's in public. It's in front of all the cameras, okay? He ain't looking like he want to kiss. This is what I look like when my dogs want to give me licks, and I'm like, I don't want no kiss. I don't want no kiss. I'm good, thank you. Right? Because Gigi is the kisser. She jumps in my lap and she doesn't take no for an answer. She's worse than Diddy. Anyway, anyway. And I just fell down on my knees and I made one of the most hardcore promises. Here we go. Ever to a human being, that I was going to do everything I could to be a good daddy to you. This is what he promised his son Trey, his oldest. I will do everything I could to be a good daddy to you. Okay? That being said, look at this picture of him with his kids. Okay? Will Smith is looking homeless with a Bel Air t-shirt on. Okay. I don't know if this photo's been doctored because some people like to play around and make the person look older and crusty, but he's looking very crusty. His son Trey on the right is looking decent. Okay. He's looking okay. All right. Willow is smiling like she good. She ain't got a care in the world. Look at Jaden. Okay. Look at Jaden's face. Look at Jaden's face. Does he look happy to you? Hold on a minute. Look at this child. I wish I could crop it so we could just look at him. But if you look at him in comparison to the other kids, he looks like he was abused. He looks emaciated. You can see his waist a little bit. Look at his sister with her arm around his waist. Now notice he's not standing next to his dad. The sister's in the middle. Now you stand next to dad. I ain't standing next to dad. You can see he looks so skinty. And what the hell does he have on? He is wearing a yellow vest with pink flowers. Okay? June's poetry said he almost looks terrified. Auntie Eva, Jaden rarely looks happy. Well, if your father did to you what Will Smith allegedly did to Jaden, you wouldn't look happy either. It's very telling. He has a very haunted look. I know that look. Right? I know that look. Because I've seen that look before. Right? There's a picture of my grandmother holding twin babies. My mother and her twin brother. And she has a haunted look on her face. The picture was taken when she had just come out the hospital. She had just got onto the street. Back then, there was no requirement for you to leave the hospital with a car seat and all of that. So she got her babies in her arms. Okay. Her face looks a little puffy and swollen. It absolutely is. You know, because prior to giving birth, she suffered what was yet another beating. She doesn't look happy that she's bringing home two healthy babies. She doesn't look happy about being a mom once again, because I think this was her second birth. She looks like Jaden. There's no life behind the eyes. You know, he looks very, very haunted, terrified, confused, angry, all wrapped up in one. And this man right here got the nerve to tell this son over here to the right, I will do, what did he say? I will do everything I can do to be a good daddy to you. Why did he not give Jaden that same energy? I don't have an answer for you. But that definitely caught my attention. That's for sure. For sure, for sure. So, yeah. There's a lot more things coming out with the diddler. More victims, more lawsuits. And how about this? Why is Diddy now in a position to potentially get a bond? Well, because the judge in his trial case stepped down. And now this new judge, whose name is, let me see, what's the new judge's name? I didn't even plan to talk about this, but I'm already on the subject, so I might as well talk about it. This article says new judge could give Diddy another attempt to win bail. No. And then we're gonna wrap up after this. But listen, stay to the end. Because I'll say I'm ready to wrap up and then something good and juicy happens and then y'all miss it. And y'all think that because y'all left, that was the end of the live. Unless you're going to go back and check. All right. After 2 judges denied Diddy Combs bail, the rapper may have a third opportunity to argue he be freed as he deals with a long list of traffic stops, racketeering, and other charges. A new judge, U.S. District Court Judge Arun Subramanian, is now in charge of the case against Combs. Court documents show that he is assigned the case Thursday. Diddy, what the hell did you do? Did you get a judge from Dubai and fly him to New York and pay him to take over this case? I'm trying to figure out why the original, I'm just being funny. I'm trying to find out why the original judge stepped in. It is said that Diddy will rat on his famous friends, okay? Diddy will rat on his famous friends, will go broke. That's what Hip Hop Cop says. I don't know what Hip Hop Cop is. Anyway, and that's what the poll is going to be about. And that's the last thing that we're going to do. So I'm going to put the poll up. All right. Do you think Diddy is going to talk? Okay. That's the question. Do you believe Diddy is going to rat everyone out? Hey, Lily. All right. Y'all tell me, right? Is he going to talk? Is he going to talk? Let's see. All right. So I started the poll. I want to know what you guys think. We're just about to wrap up. His legal team has not commented about the assignment of the new judge, but he will have an opportunity to appeal for the 3rd time about getting bond. Okay. They're still trying. Mr. Can't Stop, Won't Stop continues putting in appeals for bail. Now, I don't know if you guys know, but he hired the same lawyer as convicted fraudster Sam Bankman. Okay, that's a part of his new legal team. And I'm wondering if it's possible that Diddy paid this judge to step down. Again, this is alleged. This is just a conspiracy theory. I have no proof of this. I am just asking a question because something don't smell right. It just don't smell right. I have never heard about Will as saying his son news to me. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Not just from Jaguar Wright, but that's been going around for quite some time. Not new. When you after he did the Karate Kid movie, I'm trying to think what movie. No. After that, he did the movie Earth, and it was just him and Will Smith. That was it. They were the cast. After he did that movie with his dad, that baby was not the same. He was not the same. He was supposed to come out with some kind of rap album. He started looking weird. His hair is all types of colors. Okay, he's wearing fishnet stockings on his chest. I don't know what to tell you. Hey, Lily. I don't know what to tell you, but I want to know what you guys think. Do you think Diddy is going to squeal? And 60% of y'all, okay, so 60% of y'all said yes, you think that he's going to talk. That's what the streets are saying. The streets are saying that he's going to out everyone. I don't know if you realize that the seriousness of his charges, that with those charges, that he could be facing the penalty. Okay, he could end up on death row with those charges. So I don't know if they're going to use it as leverage to say, well, listen, if you talk, we'll just give you life. I don't know. But from what's being said now, Vlad from Vlad TV is one who has said that Jaguar Wright is a conspiracy theorist. He doesn't believe a word that she says. He would never have her on her show. He had Boosie on the show, and Boosie over there talking about he got a streetwalker to give his son and his nephew a girlfriend experience. Now, Vlad has never been to any of Diddy's parties because he was never invited. He just wasn't. And I think someone sent me a cash app, so I just want to check and say thank you. Vlad has never been to, he said, now, if I had ever been invited, I would have gone. He was never invited. He got so much to say. Oh, thank you, June's Poetry and Uncle Willie. I appreciate you guys. Thank you for the cash app. So he's never been to one, but he had a whole lot to say. And he says he believes that if Diddy talks, that Diddy will go free. What nonsense is that? If Diddy talks, he's gonna go free. Now, okay, so 13 of y'all voted, all right, but still, the majority of you believe that he is gonna talk. And what is the songbird going to say? Well, we just gonna have to wait and see. But when I tell y'all, baby, this right here is a mess. You can't even. I can't even open up Google without something popping up on my phone, something new about Diddy. She doesn't even like him, so she wouldn't want to go to his show anyways. Not sure what you mean, my tie. You got to give us some context behind that. Uncle Willie ain't had nothing to do with it. He's broke. June's Poetry, thank you so much. Uncle Willie, he probably would definitely take the credit, though. Thank you so much. He said Uncle Willie broke. I'm gonna hire Uncle Willie to be my cameraman. That's what I'm gonna do. Give Uncle Willie a job. So that's pretty much all I have for you guys today. So if you guys jumped in at the end, at the middle, make sure you start at the beginning so you can catch the replay. All right. Don't forget to go shopping. Check out Butters and Black Soaps. They have amazing products. This still is hands down my favorite African black soap. It just smells really good. You do need to keep it in a pouch though, because African black soap is very soft and it will completely melt. You can't just use it like a regular bar of soap. This because there's no chemicals in it. All right. And they have other ones. This is the sea moss one. This is the turmeric one, which I'm going to try next. And the peppermint. I don't have a picture of the peppermint one, but that's next on my list. The what do you call it? The whipped shea butters will be back soon. All right, I'm going to reach out to the owner tomorrow to find out if it's possible to do pre-orders because many of you have contacted me about it. And I just want to find out. So anyway, they have a number of products. I got to put a picture of the Chebe up here. It's not up here, but that is if you go to their website and you type in Chebe, it will come up their product line. The oil, I think, is $13. And then the oil and the actual Chebe hair butter is a combination is like $30. Their products are very reasonable. Very, very reasonable. So if it was a mainstream store, you would be paying 4 times that amount and their products work. Have you tried the teas? You know what? I have not tried the teas, but I may have to. I definitely have not as of yet, but that is something that I may need to try next. But what I will tell you is that once you start using the hair products, and you're like, oh, wow, this is good stuff. And then the African black soaps, this is great. And then I haven't used a product yet that I didn't like. Okay. I'm still going through stuff. All right. Haven't found a product yet that I was like, no, I'm not sure about this. Okay. So pretty much everything they have, I've been like, yeah, this is good. And I need to re-up. Interesting how many bond hearings he's had in just a few weeks. Yeah. How many people get bond hearings like that? I am receiving an order Monday. Okay. Let me know. Once you get the order and you make yourself a cup of tea, send me a picture and let me know what the tea is like, because I love tea and my mom is a tea addict. Okay. The woman used to drink 2 liters of Pepsi. My mama used to drink 2 liters of Pepsi every day. I might be exaggerating a little bit. It might be 2 liters, but anyway, but still, that's a lot. She would drink diet and not any Pepsi, diet Pepsi from sun up to sundown. Okay. But she got delivered and now she drinks tea all day long. So she might be interested in the tea. Foxy Brown just broke her silence about Jay-Z. Really? See, that's what I'll be telling y'all. I'll be like, yeah, we're going to end it. And then somebody will drop some tea at the last minute. Hold on a second, y'all. Foxy Brown and Jay-Z. Let me get this tea. Interesting. Let me see. Okay, so Foxy Brown speaks Oh, let me see. Talking about Jay-Z. Here we go. Let's see. Let's see what we got. Okay. Now, this article is from last year. Okay. In a recent post. Ooh, okay. In a post Brown recently shared on Instagram, the Il Na Na lyricist briefly addressed the allegations that she and Hope were romantically involved when she was underage. Okay, so this is old stuff, so I gotta find the new stuff. Hold on a second. Let me see if I can find anything. You know what? Can you, whatever you found, can you email it to me? Because I'm not seeing anything recent. I see something from 2 weeks ago. Foxy Brown exposes why Jay-Z will join Diddy in jail. Yeah, if there's a particular, I'm just looking at the titles. Foxy Brown reveals how Jay-Z used her and forced her to grow up. Well, we know what that means, but I haven't looked at these videos. Okay, so Miss T has a video, and she's one of the content creators I trust. Some of these people be making videos and they just be making up stuff, and they don't say allegedly anything. So I will check out Foxy Brown. I'm sorry, Miss T. I will check out Miss T and what she has to say about Foxy Brown talking about Jay-Z. So we'll check that out. So thank you so much for sharing that with me. Not good for the kidney. Oh, Tisa Tells. Now Tisa Tells another one. Tisa Tells begin that tea. Okay, and she researches a lot. There are some channels that you have to be careful because it's a script that's being read by AI. Okay. And then, they're putting information out there and it's not good information. And then there are channels like Miss T and Tisa Tells. And of course, Chronicle Speaks is another great source. Just like how, when you're in school, they tell you that you cannot quote Wikipedia because that's not a reliable source. Not all these YouTube channels are reliable sources. So you have to be careful. Foxy was 14 when she put music out. Yep. I was the lyric from Pepsi. I'm a tea charter now. Oh, Auntie Eva, my mama would love you. My time, I remember that. And I love I love your YouTube profile picture. That's crazy. I remember that video visit. And Lord have mercy, I'm trying to figure out why her hairline is so far back. But anyway, yeah, so I'll have to do some more research on that. I'll listen to it and see what came out of that. But I appreciate you sharing that. So, all right. All right, baddies, babes, and gents, you know what you got to do now, right? You got to hit that like button on the way out if you didn't hit it on the way in. All right. And make sure you join me tomorrow night. I will be live. Okay. I'm not sure what I'm going to talk about just yet, but I will be live tomorrow night. I will put a notification out. So make sure that you're subscribed to the channel. So this way you can be notified when I go live and when I drop a new video. So make sure you join Bad Girls Talk on tomorrow evening. All right. It'll probably be around 7 to 7:30. I will be live and we will be talking about some more juicy tea and what's going on in the world of social media. And on that note, this is Wisdom's Daughter signing off.
Thinking about you, baby, and I don't know why I'm doing it lately. Tell me that it's kinda crazy, I shouldn't do it, but I'm stuck with something from you. I never know, I still wanna see you again, but I gotta do. I would like to take a break, never see you, wanna go 50 miles away. If I got you.